Get rid of the toxic people in your life, a complete guide. Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to talk about a very important topic, a topic that many of you have suggested. How to get rid of the toxic people in your life. You know, those people who drain your energy, ruin your good mood, and bring you down. Well, we'll show you how to identify them and more importantly, how to get rid of them so you can have a better and more peaceful life. Stay tuned because we have a complete guide with real-life examples and practical tips that will help you make a major change in your life. Let's get started. The first step, and maybe the most important one, is to recognize the signs of a toxic person. Isn't it hard sometimes to figure out who's really got our back and who's dragging us down? Well, we need to pay attention to a few things. First of all, toxic people are experts at negative criticism. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, it's never good enough for them. They always find something to comment on, something to criticize, something to make you feel bad. Next, they are masters of emotional manipulation. They use your feelings of guilt, pity, or fear to control you and get what they want from you. Another sign is that they are always the victim. Nothing is ever their fault. It's always someone else's fault. Something bad is always happening to them. And of course, you're the one who has to listen to their problems and offer support, even if it means neglecting your own needs. Toxic people are also very possessive. They want to control you all the time and know everything you do. They get upset if you go out with other friends, if you have other hobbies, or if you don't answer their calls right away. They are also extremely negative. They're always complaining about life, their job, the weather, everything, and their negative energy affects you too. It drags you down and makes you see the world in gloomy colors. Remember, communicating with a toxic person is like a one-way street. Everything revolves around them, their needs, their problems. You're just a listener, a shoulder to cry on, a source of energy for them to feed on. Last but not least, a clear sign that you're dealing with a toxic person is that you feel emotionally exhausted after interacting with them. You feel drained, frustrated, stressed, and worthless. So, if you recognize these signs in someone in your life, it's time to take action. Don't ignore the warning signs, or the... Once we've identified a toxic person in our lives, the next step is to set clear boundaries. This means deciding how much we're willing to tolerate and protecting our personal and emotional space. Setting boundaries can be difficult at first, especially if we're used to always being nice and putting others first. But it's essential to learn to say no, to refuse unreasonable requests, and to protect our energy. The first step is to be aware of our own needs and limits. What are we willing to accept and what not? What are the things that really bother us? Once we know clearly what we want, we can more easily communicate our boundaries to others. When setting boundaries, it's important to be firm and clear in our communication. We shouldn't be afraid to say no or to ask for what we want. For example, we can say, "I appreciate that you want to talk now, but I'm not comfortable discussing this right now." We don't need to justify or apologize for our boundaries. We have the right to our own space and our own needs. It's important to be respectful, but firm at the same time. We also need to be prepared to enforce our boundaries, even if it means ending a conversation, leaving a place, or refusing an invitation. Setting boundaries is a continuous process. As we learn to listen to our intuition better and respect our own needs, we will become better at setting healthy boundaries in our relationships. Remember, setting boundaries is not selfish, it's an act of self-love. When we protect our energy, we give ourselves the chance to live a happier and more fulfilling life. Another helpful step in getting rid of toxic people from our lives is open but assertive communication. This doesn't mean starting fights or arguments, but learning to express our needs and feelings in a clear, calm, and respectful way. Often, toxic people don't even realize they have harmful behavior. They can be stuck in their own negative patterns and might need a mirror to see the impact of their actions on those around them. This is where assertive communication comes in. Instead of blaming or attacking them, we can try to explain how their behavior makes us feel. For example, instead of saying, "You're always so negative," we can say, "I know you're going through a tough time, but I feel overwhelmed by so much negativity. I'd rather talk about something else now." The key is to focus on our own feelings and needs, not to accuse or judge others. We can use phrases like, "I feel," "I need," or "I'd prefer." It's important to be prepared for the fact that the toxic person may react defensively or refuse to take responsibility for their behavior. In these cases, it's important to stay calm and not get drawn into their manipulation games. We also need to be aware that we can't force anyone to change. People change only if they really want to. Our role is to protect ourselves and set clear boundaries. If, despite our efforts to communicate openly, the toxic person continues to behave harmfully, we may need to take more drastic measures, such as reducing contact with them or even eliminating them from our lives completely. You tried to communicate openly, you set clear boundaries, but the toxic person in your life continues to negatively affect you? Then it's time to consider a gradual distancing. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be a sudden and dramatic break. You can start by gradually reducing contact with that person. Think of your relationship like a faucet. Instead of suddenly turning it off, you can start by slowing it down, gradually reducing the flow of water. It's the same with toxic people. You can gradually reduce the time spent together, phone calls, messages, or interactions on social media. How do we do this? Simple. Stop answering every message or call immediately, postpone meetings, or find excuses not to attend certain events. The important thing is to do it gradually, so as not to arouse suspicion and not to create unnecessary drama. As you reduce contact, you'll notice that you have more time and energy for yourself. Take advantage of this time to focus on your own needs and passions. Reinvest the energy you were using with the toxic person into healthy relationships and activities that bring you joy. Gradual distancing allows you to detach emotionally from the toxic person and see the situation more clearly. It also gives them time and space to reflect on their own behavior. Maybe in time, they will realize their mistakes and try to change. But be careful, don't cling to this hope. Don't kid yourself that a person will change overnight. Distancing is, first and foremost, a way to protect yourself. Don't be afraid to put your own emotional well-being first. Well done, you've reached the final step. After escaping the toxic influence of certain people, it's time to focus on yourself. Now you have the chance to rebuild your life, heal your emotional wounds, and rediscover your inner strength. The first step is to give yourself time to heal. It's normal to feel sad, angry, or confused after ending a toxic relationship. Don't suppress your emotions. Allow yourself to feel them and process them. Talk to a trusted friend, a family member, or a therapist. Ask for help. Don't be ashamed to ask for support. Once you've started to heal your emotional wounds, you can start to rebuild your self-esteem. Toxic people have a knack for undermining our self-confidence. They make us feel worthless, powerless, and incapable. It's time to remind yourself of your good qualities. Make a list of all the good things you have to offer. Qualities, talents, achievements. Write down everything you like about yourself, from your sense of humor to your generosity. Focus on things that you enjoy and that give you positive energy. Spend time in nature, listen to music, read a good book, play sports, cook, dance, anything that makes you feel good. Remember, you deserve to be happy. You deserve to have healthy relationships based on respect, trust, and reciprocity. You've taken an important step by eliminating toxic people from your life. Now is the time to enjoy your freedom and build a beautiful and fulfilling life. We hope this guide has been helpful and has given you the courage to make a change in your life. Remember, you deserve to be surrounded by people who appreciate you, support you, and make you feel good. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to our channel for more helpful tips. Until next time, take care of yourselves and your energy.